Genesis chapter 17. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to him. He said, I am the mighty God, walk faithfully with me. Live in a way that pleases me. I will now act on my covenant between me and you. I will greatly increase the number of your children after you. Abram fell with his face to the ground. God said to him, This is my covenant with you. You will be the father of many nations. You will not be called Abram anymore. Your name will be Abraham, because I have made you a father of many nations. I will greatly increase the number of your children after you. Nations and kings will come from you. I will make my covenant with you last forever. It will be between me and you and your family after you for all time to come. I will be your God, and I will be the God of all your family after you. You are now living in Canaan as an outsider, but I will give you the whole land of Canaan. You will own it forever, and so will all your family after you, and I will be their God. Then God said to Abram, You must keep my covenant. You and your family after you must keep it for all time to come. Here is my covenant that you and your family after you must keep. You and every male among you must be circumcised. That will be the sign of the covenant between me and you. It must be done for all time to come. Every male among you who is 8 days old must be circumcised. That includes those who are born into your own family or outside it. It also includes those bought with money from a stranger. So any male born into your family or bought with your money must be circumcised. My covenant will last forever. Your body will have the mark of my covenant on it. Any male who has not been circumcised will be separated from his people. He has broken my covenant. God also said to Abraham, Do not continue to call your wife by the name Sarai. Her name will be Sarah. I will give her my blessing. You can be sure that I will give you a son by her. I will bless her so that she will be the mother of nations. Kings of nations will come from her. Abraham fell with his face to the ground. He laughed and said to himself, Can a 100-year-old man have a son? Can Sarah have a child at the age of 90? Abraham said to God, I really wish Ishmael could receive your blessing. Then God said, Yes, I will bless Ishmael, but your wife Sarah will have a son by you, and you will name him Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him. That covenant will last forever. It will be for Isaac and his family after him. I have heard what you said about Ishmael. I will surely bless him. I will make his family very large. He will be the father of 12 rulers. I will make him into a great nation, but I will establish my covenant with Isaac. By this time next year, Sarah will have a son by you. When God had finished speaking with Abram, God left him. On the same day, Abram circumcised his son Ishmael. He also circumcised every male who was born into his family or bought with his money. He did exactly as God had told him. Abram was 99 years old when he was circumcised. His son Ishmael was 13. Abram and his son Ishmael were both circumcised on the same day, and every male in Abram's household was circumcised along with him. That included those born into his family or bought from a stranger. Genesis chapter 18. The Lord appeared to Abram near the large trees of Mamre. Abram was sitting at the entrance to his tent. It was the hottest time of the day. Abram looked up and saw 3 men standing nearby. So he quickly left the entrance to his tent to greet them. He bowed low to the ground. He said, My Lord, if you are pleased with me, don't pass me by. Let me get you some water. Then all of you can wash your feet and rest under this tree. Let me get you something to eat to give you strength. Then you can go on your way. I want to do this for you now that you have come to me. All right, they answered. Do as you say. So Abram hurried into the tent to Sarah. Quick, he said. Get about 6 pounds of the finest flour. Prepare it and bake some bread. Then he ran over to the herd. He picked out a choice, tender calf. He gave it to a servant who hurried to prepare it. Then he brought some butter and milk and the calf that had been prepared. He served them to the 3 men. While he stood near them under a tree. "Where is your wife Sarah?" they asked him. "Over there in the tent," he said. Then one of them said, "I will surely return to you about this time next year. Your wife Sarah will have a son." Sarah was listening at the entrance to the tent, which was behind him. Abram and Sarah were already very old. Sarah was too old to have a baby, so she laughed to herself. She thought, "I'm worn out, and my husband is old. Can I really know the joy of having a baby?" And the Lord said to Abram, "Why did Sarah laugh? Why did she say, 'Will I really have a baby now that I'm old? Is anything too hard for me? I will return to you at the appointed time next year. Sarah will have a son." Sarah was afraid, so she lied and said, "I did laugh." But the Lord said, "Yes, you laughed." The men get up to leave. They looked down towards Sodom. Abram walked along with them to see them on their way. And the Lord said, "Should I hide from Abram what I am about to do? He will certainly become a great and powerful nation. All nations on earth will be blessed because of him. I have chosen him. He must direct his children to live in the way that pleases me. And he must direct the members of his family after him to do the same. So he must guide all of them in doing what is right and fair. Then I, the Lord, will do for Abram what I have promised him." The Lord also said, "The crimes against Sodom and Gomorrah are very great. Their sin is so bad that I will go down and see for myself. I want to see if what they have done is as bad as the crimes that have reached me. If it is not, then I will know." The men turned away and went towards Sodom, but Abram remained standing in front of the Lord. Then Abram came up to him and said, "Will you sweep away godly people along with those who are evil? What if there are 50 godly people in the city? Will you really sweep it away? Won't you spare the place because of the 50 godly people in it? You would never kill godly people along with those who are evil, would you? Would you treat them all alike? You would never do anything like that. Won't the judge of the whole earth do what is right?" The Lord said, "If I find 50 godly people in the city of Sodom, I will spare it. I will spare the whole place because of them." Then Abram spoke up again. He said, "I've been very bored to speak to the Lord. After all, I'm only dust and ashes. What if the number of godly people is 5 fewer than 50? Will you destroy the whole city because there are 5 fewer people? If I find 45 there," he said, "I will not destroy it." Once again, Abram spoke to him. He asked, "What if only 40 are found there?" He said, "If there are 40, I will not do it." Then Abram said, "Lord, please don't be angry with me. Let me speak. What if only 30 can be found there?" He answered, "If I find 3, I will not do it." Abram said, "I have been very bored to speak to the Lord. What if only 20 can be found there?" He said, "If I find 20, I will not destroy it." Then he said, "Lord, please don't be angry with me. Let me speak just one more time. What if only 10 can be found there?" He answered, "If I find 10, I will not destroy it." When the Lord has finished speaking with Abram, he left, and Abram returned home.